hi Lorena. Lorena Bin from Brain-Pro and NeuroMarketing.la. Thank you very much for joining this client feedback sessions about Feng-GUI and predictive analytics and marketing insights in general. So first of all, thank you for the time and joining us. I'm Rafael Mizrahi, CEO and founder of Feng-GUI, and I want to ask you a few short questions about your experience with the product and the service. And I understand that you're like a very experienced veteran customers from many years ago. So please share with us your experience with the products and disclaimer, only good things.
Okay, Rafael, thank you very much. Thanks for the interview. Really, it's very important for our audience in NeuroMarketing.la to have this opportunity so they can understand the value of the use of information and analysis by algorithm. I discovered Feng-GUI on 2014. So it's been a while since I've been using it for our clients in Latin America. So practically, we have been experienced the evolution of the platform during all these days.
Yeah, okay. And I recall that you had an additional service and product of a mobile application that was wrapped over our API. So you were enabling clients to access the platform and the capability of this predictive insights even on a handheld device. So
Yes.
How did this work?
Yes, we did that on 2016 because we found out that there was a need for the customers to, as they were on the streets. Probably we had on that time one customer which has an out-of-home service for visuals. So we discovered that it was very interesting for them to have the information just here in their cell phone. So they took a picture of the image and the area, and they got instant results. So we have a very good experience working with the API in the development of this application. And also, just to let you know that this application, we participate in 2 events. One event was locally for an app challenge in my country, and we won the 3rd place for the design and the implementation of this as a resource for entrepreneurs. And this enables us the opportunity to go to Image Americas in Miami. We participate in 2017. That was an important event for the technological ecosystem in Miami, Florida, in the United States. And we classify for the later stage, which is when you have a prototype and you can show them to potential investors or colleagues over there. So we classify between 75 final participants for the later stage, and there were like 300 applications. So it was we got media attention, we got interviews regarding the value of the analysis and in predictive analysis for mobile as a service.
Okay, this is great, and as I understand, but I'm not quite familiar with your history and career. But I understand that now you have a new venture over the last few years. So you have you found a new agency or new consulting agency. Well, what are you doing nowadays?
Yes, I've been working in the technological consultancy sector since 10 years ago. We work with biometrical tools, with neuromarketing research, the application of biometrical tools in Latin America since 2010. And we've been working now in the evolution of the algorithm. So we launched Brain-Pro, which is a service for entrepreneurs, for advertising agencies, or for even research agencies, where we offer our services in training and understanding how platforms works for analysis. Also, and we work with your solution, with Feng-GUI solution, basically for all the development of apps and UX experience, websites and social media posts and images, which are very important for communication. So that is the main focus of the service.
Okay, excellent. So you're also doing traditional eye tracking and like headsets of
yes, EEG.
EEG, exactly.
Facial recognition also.
Yeah, facial recognition is and expressions is very hot recently, also for movies and for first impressions. Great. So Feng-GUI is also one of the tools in your toolbox that you provide insight services to to advertising agency, to creative agencies, to people who create visuals and want to optimize the visuals to get better results, better attention to. Okay.
Yes, Rafael, and it's important to let you know that we have also tested websites with participants, real participants with eye tracking, and compare it with your solution, and with very nice results, very similar results, which help us with our customers to understand the value of algorithms. Because as you know, for people it takes quite more effort to understand how algorithm works, how they can be reading, or how humans can be so predictable. I think customers get surprised of how we appreciate our visual things as a package and in a website, but this help us understand that they can see how eye tracking with participant works, and also with algorithms, and the results are very similar as eye tracking perspective view. So we are very
Excellent.
pleased with
That's
that.
great feedback. Thank you. And that's of course what we are aiming to do, to give a computer aid tool for designing new interfaces or new visuals or ads, to create a better looking world, and to give tools to designers and to advertisers to optimize the scene and the visual based on of course primitive elements inside that scene that not always are being treated properly by the creator itself. So the software can be an assistant to give you an alert, to be alerted that maybe a certain area is using a font which is too small. So it could be that the reader of that, I mean, like a driver who is passing next to a billboard might not see that text. I mean, how many times you pass through a commercial sign and what was that about? What was that?
Yeah.
I have no idea. So of course we do get it's not a friction, but we do get a pushback from designers that are afraid that computers will take their soul and creativity, and that's not the case, of course, because just like other tools that you have in Photoshop or other software that edits visuals, it's an additional tool, so you can use it, you can use the tips. You still need to operate your mind in order to make good decisions. For example, if you want to select using the magic wand to select a certain area in the picture, you can select it slowly by yourself, or you can use a magic wand, or you can use a color selection tool. So Feng-GUI is an additional tool to help you being aware that this area is drawing more attention and this area is drawing less attention, and why. So how you can improve this area, how maybe you want to decrease the attention in this area based on its surrounding, based on the primitive of the visuals inside. It could be colors, it could be orientation, etc.
Yeah, I want to tell you about an example that I had last week. I participated on an event, and they invite me to talk about technology and what will be the return of investment in advertising campaigns to be more effective. So I told the interviewer that first of all, we were going to analyze the design of the invitation, the post that was going to be in social media with the platform. And it was very interesting for them because during the interview, I presented their results. And he was fascinated because he understood that probably you don't, as you mentioned with creativity, you are not mining creativity. It's the other way around. Designers can emphasize on details that are important because they place my picture image over there and the message was very small. So I took all the attention, as humans take 60% or more of the attention on an advertising. So they made an interesting ad, more attractive, that we discussed during the interview. So for the users, it's like very friendly to have parameters, because sometimes what it happens with design is that it's appreciation. It's appreciation, which is emotional, and probably for me could be something could be more nice or beautiful, and for somebody else would be like awful. But with data, and with the indicators that Feng-GUI gives you, because Feng-GUI presents like some KPIs and also three particularly indicators which help us move the conversation to another level, because you can compare between one and another the parameters, the potential that an advertising can have for attention. So it's very nice that once they saw this value, you can focus on being more creative. And then what I like of the platform also is that automatically, if you choose the selection of the AOIs, they made an initial perspective of the whole advertisement. So you can then go deeper on areas if you want to be more precise about which area within another area of interest.
Okay, that's great. Just another thing that I was thinking during your story is about trusting technology. So in our example, Feng-GUI gives you an unbiased feedback. So it's a feedback which is constant, it's not random, and it's based and tuned on millions of other results of real people, and eventually it gives you data that you need to understand the data, and you can also make decisions based on this data. You can ignore the data, you can take the data as a supportive argument, but if it's against your idea, you can hide the data. And just a few days ago, I was in the car with my wife, and the Waze, the GPS instruction, told us to go through some other road that we didn't think it's the right idea. But we didn't, I mean, it was in Jerusalem, which is a very complicated city by all means, not just by traffic. And so we said, it's impossible for us to be more smart than Waze. It's completely impossible because it sees such a big picture of the town and the traffic. So maybe
in real time.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe it is load balancing the traffic. Maybe it's proactive and not reactive. Maybe because we thought, oh, we should go from that road. It looks much more open. Why is she? We call it a she. Why is she taking
Yeah.
us from that road? And so maybe it's balancing the traffic through few channels, but eventually, as long as you get, of course, you need to have good feedback. You need to know that the results are good. Otherwise, you will not trust that stupid technology. But if the results are good, if the customers are happy, if their conversion is going up, then of course they will be more interested in using cost-effective alternative to eye tracking, or just scaling their and yours as well as a you're using Feng-GUI, but you're also providing it to clients. So you're using it as a tool to scale your insights, your reports, and they will benefit from it as well. So computer eventually and machine learning and deep learning and AI and all those big words are just another phase in technology that helps us to do more things more fast and more smart. That's only what's behind it, as long as it managed to prove itself. Otherwise,
Yeah, totally agree. And since I've been using Feng-GUI for so long ago, I've seen the evolution on the precision of the accuracy level,
oh
which
yeah,
now it's rounding in 92%, I think, or
yeah.
91%.
Initially, it started like 2007, and we worked for 2 years just to build the product and the efficiency of the algorithm. And back then, it was fairly close to 50% correlation to real people. That some may say that it's a chance, but it's not a chance. It's not a chance, 50-50 chance. That's not the way to compare it. That's a complicated analogy. And then it moved to 60, and afterwards there was another milestone of 85. And I think in 85 we stayed for a few more years. And when machine learning and deep learning got into the system and face detection became much more accessible, and computer power is dramatically higher than 10 years ago, so it enabled us to reach to 92% correlation with the real eye tracking. So if you take 40 participants and show them that image for 5 seconds, and do the same with real eye tracking, you will get about 90%, 92% of correlation in the areas of interest. It's not a complete coverage. So if you do with eye tracking, so you will see like a more smooth, you will see the transition of the eyes. But if you compare, if you cut this landscape and compare only the peaks and the highest areas of this geography, then you will see that there are a high correlation with eye tracking.
Yes, I still remember on the first stages where you have to select if there are skin, texture, text.
Yeah.
It was part of the first menus that the application had. Now it's very friendly. It's very useful. So for beginners, for designers, for people that is beginning this relation of measures, indicators for design, I think the platform is quite friendly to present the information and the reports, because you have, and there's another thing that we haven't talked, because we just talk about images, but video. video for that new stage, which I've been used for GIFs, for example, for social media. As you see, you have the attention on the first 3 seconds, and probably a social media video which lasts 10 or 15 seconds. It's a very useful tool to measure that impact, because we on a thumb of a scroll, you lose the attention of your message. So having this feature of analyzing videos, it's very useful for scaling up in also commercials and campaigns, which are like more complex.
Yeah. Video is something that we've added. I mean, it was before for professional services, like on project basis, we've done that. But now it's part of the self-service of the software, so everyone can use it. We still have some missing features that we would like to add, like editing AOI over timeline, and but instead of that, you can still take the export and download the raw data of the video and the reports. And if you do have systems like Toby or SME or iMotion packages, it's possible to take this raw data, import it into their system as if it was real eye tracking, and create the editing of the AOIs over there and generate AOI reports for video through third-party software. But we do want to enable this capability through the software itself, but it just takes time.
And yeah, it's like a more manual process. But there's an option also, so you can compare the data, or you can scale it up. It's like user friendly, so you can scale it up to other technologies, just like you mentioned, like iMotions or Toby platform. So we are very enthusiastic in our with our customers. We have experienced very good results in packaging. For example, one of our first customers back then in 2014 was retail in the food industry, which was launching a package of for kids, for a beverage, chocolate milk for kids, and they were introducing new flavors. So for this, they didn't have like the whole budget to do an eye tracking for participants, and also they didn't have the time, which is another important thing about Feng-GUI, which the results are immediate. You don't have to wait that much. You need to take that results and build the report on a consultancy base. Mm-hmm. Because the platform also give us interesting reports and data with some important issues to consider. So for them, there was a nice experience. The product went into the market, and they had like good results with that back then. So we've been using for last year, it was the relevance of the pandemic and people staying home. All the websites and e-commerce, like they need like a basics in their design. Where can be the potential for calling the attention points and not compete? Yeah. So and for designers, it's which I work with developers and designers. They find out that for them is very cost efficient, because once they see their mock-ups, so they can focus on the important and relevant aspects of the design of the experience.
Yeah, we see that as, I mean, using Feng-GUI, we see it as part of the design cycle as an iterative process. So it doesn't have to be, you finish the design, your manager is happy, you show it to the customer, you're doing a focus group, you do eye tracking, and that's it. So it could be that during the process, because now you have something which is more accessible to you and less expensive, then you can do more testing in-house. So you can test your design during the design process, and after you're satisfied with few results, you can take it outside with to get customer feedbacks, to get emotional feedback, to get even eye tracking feedback. So it's it could be, I mean, it's claimed as a cost-effective alternative, but it's not competing directly with eye tracking. It could be like a complementary addition tool in your toolbox or in the designer toolbox.
Yes, and you can consider it as the first step for decision making. If I, instead of bringing to test 5 solutions or 7, that they can be confused then for the results and of their investigation, and customer can be with doubts of what will be the final design. You can be doing like in behavioral design, the chunking method. So you apply it for a smaller stage, and then you can go with a nice prototype for testing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
exactly.
you will have the opportunity to obtain better feedback from participants if applying eye tracking, facial coding solution.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, do some in-house testing before you go to the expensive lab, for example.
Yes.
Or acquire your services and get a consultant that comes with like a mini lab. You have a mini lab that comes with you. And after that phase, you can go and go to the expensive lab, and sometimes not. Sometimes you don't need to go to the expensive lab, and you're satisfied with benchmarks that you're doing in-house along with a person from your agency.
Correct.
So, Lorena, I think we had quite a long conversation. I hope that viewers stayed with us with all those kind words that you're saying about the product and stories from your experience. So I really thank you for the time and for your kind words, and we will continue working very hard to satisfy your professional needs and also to satisfy your customers as well. I remember like 10 years ago or 12 years ago when a person asked to me, what are we doing? And I said, we're doing a predictive. And he said, hold it. I lost you at predictive. I don't know what that means. And nowadays it's much more easy to discuss about this kind of technologies. So it's so I hope that the next 10 years will be much more interesting and will move faster. So thank you.
I think so. I think so too. Thank you, Rafael, for developing Feng-GUI with the team, and thank you for the time. I'm happy to give you feedback on the evolution of this living platform, because since machine learning, predictive analysis, I don't know which is the next stage you are considering for Feng-GUI, but happy to be participating in the process.
Okay, thank you very much, and goodbye. We'll continue following each other online, and good luck.
Thank you so much. Have a great night, Rafael.